Hello everyone. In this session, I will be demoing Pesseral's Data Quality Watch tool and present its functionalities to you. Data Quality Watch is a metadata driven automation tool that programmatically profiles a specific data set configured and measure its current state of data quality. Quality of the data is measured with five focused areas: integrity, check data for its uniqueness, referential integrity, and verify if the data is aligned to its business process. Completeness, check if the data is complete. There are no partial, it's not partial or missing values. Consistency, check if the data is consistent enough. Meaning, for example, check if the values of the columns are in an expected range, perform enumeration checks, pattern checks, and so on. Timeliness, having up to data information is critical for analytics. Data quality watch process checks if the data is updated in the expected frequency and doesn't have a data lag. Popularity, we're talking about data sets. Data quality watch profiles its usage, meaning to measure the value of a specific data set, data quality watch process scans through its the metadata of Snowflake and provide with metrics in terms of how frequently or how widely the data is used. Data quality watch is built using Snowflake, Talent, and then the output of the data quality watch process is visualized either using a Power BI dashboard or Tableau dashboard. To operate data quality watch process, a configuration has to be updated. So as an example, the user is required to specify which business, the data of which business unit, where the data is stored in terms of database, schema, tables, and so on. And also if there is a need to apply data validation using custom business rules, that input has to be configured. The configuration data is stored within the Snowflake under the Data Rocket metadata schema. Data quality watch process using this configured data sets profiles the enterprise data or the source data, and also it utilizes the Snowflake metadata under the information schema to list out all the tables of a given database or the columns according to the configurations. Data quality watch process is smart enough, and it's really a flexible process, meaning as part of the configurations, whether a user can choose to profile the entire database, data under entire database, or a specific schema, or a specific table sets, or a specific column. So it's really simplifies the configuration model. Don't need to explicitly specify all the columns or all the tables. Truly you can choose, as I said, either the database at a high level or go to a granular level at the column level. The data quality watch process using this configuration parameter, the profile data, and the information schema profiles the data sets and records the output or the results in the Snowflake metadata database as well. The data is made persistent for the trend analysis. You can, at any point of time, you could look back to the historical runs of the data quality process to understand the current state of the data at that point of time. The data once is stored is, as I said before, is visualized using the data quality watch dashboard either in Power BI or Tableau. Talent is used to orchestrate the entire data quality watch process. It automates its scheduling, monitors its executions, and then gives any insights, the logs and insights required by the IT team. For this demo, let's look at a sample data set, which is Superbank. And the operational system has data related to the loan management, customer accounts, and a third party data providing the information related to the home equity line of credits, Equifax. So so if I go and execute here, it's basically we are looking at around 7 tables. These tables are wide, as you see that that's like 30 plus columns. And then for a sample, we are looking at hundreds of rows. Again, the volume really, it could be more than 100,000 millions. Depending on the configurations, Data Quality Watch will go ahead and executes in the backend process. Quick look at the configurations, what a configuration model looks for Data Quality Watch. So off the shelf, as I said, we talked about 5 focused area. In Data Quality Watch terms, we call it as dimensions. These are the dimensions we talked before. For each dimensions, there are profiling metrics associated. Example, under the completeness, we look for the metric is empty data. Basically, look if data is partials or complete, consistency, outliers, and so on. For the configuration, this is where as I talked before, user would have to specify what their data is, which data Data Quality Watch needs to profile. Either, as I said, you can specify just the database, and if there is no further information provided, the Data Quality Watch process will go and profile all the schemas and all the tables and columns underneath that. If not, you could specify a specific table set. As you see here, I'm looking for the empty data. I'm looking for one specific table, loan fact, home loans, or a couple of tables. This, as you see here, Equifax, for one of these configurations, we want to exclude these 2 tables, and then what are the columns associated to it. So, and then also you could also go and specify for consistency additional parameters. If you're specifying the range of values, that can be done as well. A fully configurable and a flexible model. And then once we set the profiling, the configurations for each metric, there is an anomaly definitions, meaning, okay, profile, we know the fact. For example, empty data, we know, okay, 80% of the data is non-empty. Is this good? Or you could have to say, if it is less than 80%, then it becomes an anomaly. So there is every metric, there is an anomaly associated to it. The definitions are pre-built here, which can be customized as well. Meaning, if you look at the thresholds for each of those configurations that was done previously, you could specify a range of threshold values, lower, mid, and higher range. Again, this Data Quality Watch is powerful in this regard because you don't have to set one standard threshold across all the data set. It can be across all the data set, or you can choose for a specific configurations what the thresholds looks like. Meaning, one of the table you could expect the empty data to be at least 80%, whereas the another table you would say no, it has to be 100%. It can, or more than 90%. So it can be made really flexible. Once the configurations are made, you could also have the flexibility for any given run. You can set if the Data Quality Watch has to process all the configurations that has been set, or you can disable. As an example, you don't want to keep measuring the popularity of the data. For example, today's run, you could disable that configurations not to get executed. This is basically kind of gives the flexibility to optimize the run in the event if required. But if you would, basically you can choose to keep it or disable it depending on the choice. So at the end, if we assemble all these configurations, it would look something like this. For each dimensions, what are the metrics, which data set that metrics has been configured, then if it is been enabled or disabled, and then the thresholds. As I said, this is really customizable. Again, every industries, every business unit has its own business process, and it has own thresholds, so you can really go and configure to the in accordance to the business process. Now that we have set up the configuration, let's go and trigger the data quality watch process. To do that, we would have to go to the Talent Cloud. Under the management console, let me go to the management, look at the task. So we have the data quality task specific to data quality watch. We'll start that, and it can be scheduled to run on a schedule. So to do that, you would have to haven't done the schedule here for demo, but it's pretty straightforward. You go to edit task, add a trigger, click on the trigger, specify, for example, let's say daily, select trigger type daily, daily DKW, let's name it like this, choose your time zone and so on, and repeat every day. It's kind of self-explanatory. You would have to go and specify like this, and then just click save and close, and then you will have your data quality watch to be ready to execute it on a daily trigger, as you see here. For now, okay, it's started actually. Since I scheduled for it, already started. If the schedule is not there, you could also go and run on demand by clicking run now. So it will take some time. I think it will take around 15 to 20 minutes because we have many columns, hundreds of columns to process. While data quality watch process is running in the background, let's look at the dashboard for the previously executed runs. So as an example, as of September 6th, the summary view provides quick insights into the state of the data for each of the focused area. So as an example, the integrity seems to be off for as of September 6th. The threshold is supposed to be 82.5%, whereas it's just 65%. Same thing with the completeness, it seems to be off. The consistency seems to be okay. The data is fresh, and then you get the average hits of the selected data as per the configurations, along with the metrics for a specific date. The summary view also gives the trend of the data for each dimensions for all periods. So as you see, the integrity of the data seems to be growing for a specific days, but then declined on the September 6th. You could choose, as I said, for data quality watch provides historical view of the data quality results. So any specific day you can select to see what the data look like. You could also narrow down the insights to a specific business unit. Example, if you want to filter for loan management, filter through the application as well, and then you can also filter down to the specific data sets. We just have in the configuration one database and then one schema. Along with the summary informations, the dashboard provides also the detailed level of information for each of the dimensions or focused area. As an example, if you look at the integrity, we can know here the percentage of unique value for each of the table, its trend over the period of time, and then you can drill down to more specific at the column level by going the viewer. For example, here on the September 6th, if I go to loan management, and then I can see the loan ID seems to have really low unique value, and it is expected to be 80%. For you could also narrow it down, as I said, by business unit, business applications. Also, you can search for a specific column level. So, if, for example, if I want to know the uniqueness of loan ID, and if it is present in multiple tables, you could quickly select loan ID and understand its uniqueness across the table. Similar to integrity, completeness, where we are measuring the percentage of non-empty value by table. You can go and look at a column level, like we did for the integrity. So if I drill down here, yeah, so for each of the columns, so here is a good example where data quality watch process, though we configured for a specific table, it is looking the percentage of completeness for each of the column, and then gives the measurement, the metric value at the column level. And then consistency. Similar to completeness, you can look at the, so as per the configurations, we just looked at one data set for the consistency to see what percentage of the value is an outlier or not, and then you get the trend of the value. There is also quick summary for a given day, if the current state, if it is it's in a good state or not, in this metric as well, and some of the quick metrics in terms of how many rows were profiled. So we looked at completeness as well. So here it processed 68 columns for that run, and processing of around nearly 175,000 rows of record. Same concept. You can drill down to timeliness to understand the state of the data. So here for this table, if you look at here, it seems to be it was really off. The data was not refreshed, and then it's, the process got triggered. Now it seems to be more up to date in the current run. Popularity. So as per the configurations, we are looking these data tables, that what we configured, and then for each of the table it provides how many average hits per day. So in the example of fact home loans table, this is the most popularly used, with 212 average hits per day, and then average across. You can also drill down to see if the usage has been consistent or it is declining over a period of the time. All the configurations, you could, as I said, we reviewed at the in the Snowflake metadata, but the dashboard also provides what has been configured. So it helps really for IT to review what has been configured. For example, if I want to go and check, okay, for integrity, what are we looking? So I can select integrity, and I see that the account dim table and all the tables except these two tables is been looked for the integrity check, consistency check for one of the HELOC tables is been configured, and so on. So that's pretty much what the data quality watch product it's really an automation tool, unlike in a traditional approach where you would have to configure, custom develop the data validation process, the data check. With using data quality watch, it's an automation tool driven or operates using the metadata, no code required, and it really accelerates and makes proactive for IT engineer to understand the current state of the data, and if any anomalies are found, which basically affects the accuracy of the analytics, a proper proactive action can be taken to improve the quality of data over the period of time. I hope this demo provides value to you, and thank you for watching, and look forward to hear more from you.